Did I ever tell you about the man who taught his asshole to talk? His whole abdomen would move up and down, you dig? Farting out the words. It was unlike anything I have ever heard. Now, this ass talk, it had sort of a gut frequency. It hits you right down there like you gotta go. You know, when the old colon gives you the elbow and it feels all sort of cold inside and you know all you have to do is turn loose? Well, this talking hit you right down there. A bubbly, thick, stagnant sound. A sound you could smell. Now this man, he worked for a carnival, you dig? And to start with, it was like a novelty ventriloquist act. Real funny too at first. And he had a number he called the better roll. It was a scream. I tell you, I forget most of it, but it was clever. Like, oh, I say, you still down there, old thing? Nah, I had to go relieve myself. After a while, the ass started talking on its own. He would go in without anything prepared, and his ass would ad-lib and toss the gags back at him every time. Then it developed sort of teeth, little raspy and curving hooks, and it started eating. He thought this was cute at first, and he built an act around it. But the asshole would eat his way through his pants and start talking on the street, shouting out that it wanted equal rights. It would get drunk, too. It'd have crying jags. Nobody loved it and wanted to be kissed the same as any other mouth. Finally, it talked all the time. Day and night. You could hear him for blocks screaming at it to shut up, beating it with his fists, and sticking candles up it. But nothing did any good. And then the asshole said to him, "It's you who will shut up in the end, not me. 'Cause we don't need you around here anymore. I can talk and eat and shit." And after that, he began waking up in the morning with that transparent jelly, sort of like a tadpole's tail over his mouth. Now this jelly, it's what the scientists call UNDT, undifferentiated tissue, which can grow on any kind of flesh on the human body. He would tear it off his mouth and pieces of it would stick to his hands like burning gasoline jelly, and it would grow there. It would grow everywhere a glob of it fell. So finally, his mouth sealed over, and the whole head would have amputated spontaneously. Except for the eyes, you dig. That's the one thing the asshole couldn't do was see. It needed the eyes. But the nerve connections were blocked and infiltrated and atrophied, so the brain couldn't give orders anymore. It was trapped in the skull, sealed off. For a while, you could see the silent, helpless suffering of the brain behind the eyes. And then the brain must have died, because the eyes, they went out. And there was no more feeling in them than a crab's eyes at the end of a stalk.